Hello everybody, my name is Jagiero and welcome back to episode 48 of Jagiland. This is the first episode of Jagiland in 2017, so I hope you all had a good new year. I certainly did. I slept through it, it was brilliant. I'm back at work now. That sucks. I found that today I actually have very limited time, so I might have to rush through a few things this episode, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure we can get quite a lot accomplished. On the last episode, what did I do? I finished off Newton Heath. Over there. And then I finished off the Nether Tunnel to the new jungle build, which we may visit later on in this episode. But today, I would like to work here. Or more specifically, here. Because I mentioned that I have ideas for this area, and these have been in my brain for quite some time, though not fully formed. So as you can see here, I have a couple of concepts. This area I have struggled with for quite some time to think about just what the hell is going on in this area. I've had several ideas. They've all sort of changed shape over time, and some of them have just disappeared entirely for very good reason. They were crap, and yeah, I'm still struggling in all honesty, but I think I've nailed down a little bit of a concept here. Okay, so I mentioned something from World of Warcraft called Crystal Song Forest, was it? Something like that, and I'm stealing that idea. It's not actually the same. This is literally going to be a forest of like crystal trees and like crystals in the ground and things like that. So yeah, try to get your brain around that like I have over the past few days. It's tough. It's very tough. But let me talk about what I've done here. Okay, so this is a concept for the pathways in this place. I need a name for this place. I'm thinking maybe the Crystal Grove or something like that. Is that too cheesy? I don't know. Yeah, so that might be the pathways, and this will be sort of the main ground. So you have to imagine. Let me tell you. I've cleared out a load of land here. I've essentially stretched this layer of grass all the way to over there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up some hills around the place so this isn't so flat, because we have lost a lot of character here, and that's definitely not what I want. So the hills will be this, and most of the ground will be this. So you have the general white of the snow mixed in with the white glass, and then the sort of dabs of the blue from the packed ice. Packed ice is very precious in this world. I don't have a lot of it at all. I may have to go on a big trip, because the nearest biome is very far away and it's tiny, so I might have to go to the next biome, which is very, very far away. So, yeah, I look forward to that, I guess. Okay, so one thing I like about this, you can see through the ground into these divots, these holes that have then been covered over by this glass or crystal, as we're trying to say. I like the idea of that. I like being able to see underneath, and I've put some lanterns down there. I would maybe like to incorporate some actual regular ice. I do have some. The problem is, if I do that, a lot of it melts because of the lanterns underneath the ground. So I have to be very careful where I use that. So maybe not. But that's the main concept for the ground anyway. And these are the pathways. So we're trying to stick with the sort of blue or purple theme. This is light blue stained clay, but it does have a sort of little bit of purple tinge to it. To my colorblind eyes. Oh god, I need to sleep soon. That's fine. How about I just hurry up? Yeah, okay. So same sort of concept. You can see underneath. I have used regular ice in places here just to have a look. I don't like seeing this dirt, so I would replace that with snow blocks. Okay, so let me talk about this. Ice slows you when you're walking on it, which is bad for a path, but in this place, we are most likely going to be flying around the area rather than walking. So the paths don't actually matter that much. in regards to slowing you down. I think I'm okay with that. I don't think they're going to be this wide, and they're definitely not going to be this straight. But I think this could work. This could work. Okay, I need to sleep, and then I'm going to carry on rambling, probably. Alright, so let me talk about a few things around this area. So, yes, I mentioned flying. I mentioned that these won't be this straight, they won't be this wide. Before I can lay down any paths, though, I not only need to know where the hills are going to be, I need to know where certain, not contraptions, just certain sections of this area, where they're going to be. So the first one is this. So this is a catch hole for that. What did I just hear? Is he down here? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a catch hole for the mob farm, specifically for gunpowder from the mob farm. So I have a item filter up there. It filters out the gunpowder, puts it into this dropper that's right there, which has a, what do you call them, a comparator circuit on it, so that when anything when anything goes into this, thank you very much, this dropper, it shoots it out like so and catches it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry, I can't even speak English today. I'm going to catch all this gunpowder. They're just going to random ones for now. This is obviously not the finished product, by the way. I'm going to catch it all, and I'm going to store it down here with a reed farm under the ground with probably some glass over the top. And this is because Elytras need fireworks to be able to get off the ground properly. Yes? And I need fireworks to be able to get off the ground properly to get into the Skybase. So it makes sense having a way to make fireworks efficiently down here. So that's the first thing. Now, I mentioned covering that sort of... what I'll do is I'll make like a nice looking reed farm, and then the chests and storage and whatever, and I'll make it look a lot better with the glass above, like this. So this is where the villagers are. Let's talk about the villagers, by the way. They'd stopped breeding. There was one iron golem. There was, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 7 villagers or something like that down here. They stopped breeding. I was quite happy with that. Then I did all this work around here, and the population exploded. I don't know what's going on, why that happened. I think I'm okay with it, though. I don't think there's any farmers still. There's a couple of nitwits, but there's no farmers from what I can tell. The actual farming here has been done by little baby villagers, I think it was, something like that. Okay, yeah, but as you can see, I have this circle-shaped glass ceiling over the villagers, and this is actually in the wrong place for now, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But that's the concept for it, with the snow sort of going over the top. You can't put snow slabs, you know, these little snow flat thing blocks. Are they called slabs? I'm calling them slabs. You can't have them on top of glass, so I've had to use snow blocks underneath. But I think it works. You know, it doesn't look too stupid. Maybe this one in the middle does, but having them kind of creep along the edge to the middle, I like that. I like that idea. I think I've gone overboard a little bit. I haven't obviously finished it off. I'm just trying to see how it looked. I've maybe gone overboard a bit. I don't think I want to do it like that. And this obviously won't be flat snow. It'll be like our sort of floor design over there. Okay, but this has to move, because inside this is a slime chunk, and it is just literally the one chunk, but I'm going to use that for a slime farm. I'm okay with it being the one chunk. I know it would be more efficient if there were you know, a couple together, but I'm okay with it. I'm not going for maximum efficiency. The one chunk will be fine, and that will have the same design as this, roughly, with a glass ceiling, and you'll be able to look down all these slime spawning, or you know, whatever contraption we come up with to kill them and whatever. But it does mean I've got to move the villagers, which is a pain in the booty. This guy, by the way, is where I'm getting all my snow from, so you just stand there and do this for 24 hours, I guess. Because making snow blocks out of these little balls, careful, it's so slow. It's ridiculous. They only stack 16s, so you know, great, 4 blocks, amazing. Help. Oh god, it's so frustrating. I'm waiting for this the big spoon to die, by the way, because it is too expensive to repair, sadly. Yeah, so I may move the villagers over this area. There's a nice flat area here, although, again, I don't want it all to be flat. But yeah. So you're sort of getting an idea of this place. I know I've talked a lot, and I've shown very little, but I don't have the time to do much today, so I'm afraid that a lot of this video is going to be like that. However, one thing I can do is work on a concept for the actual forest itself, the grove trees themselves. So on the outside edge of this sort of this area here are going to be trees that are very similar to spruce trees, but crystallized. So either snow or quartz, like actual trunks, and then glass, ice, you know, whatever I decide to do for the leaves. So I'm going to grab a few blocks and try and work out something for that in this area. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've just made a very rudimentary hill over here, a hill over here, and yeah, I like like I said, I like the idea of being able to see down below. I think when you're looking at this from above, you know, you have to think of this place as being shown from above. So down here maybe doesn't look so good. From above, when you're flying across it, it actually looks a little bit less hodgepodge and more like a more meshed together design, I think. And again, you have to remember there isn't going to be grass. There's just going to be this and the paths, you know, the blue paths and things like that. I think it'll work. I really do. It's tough to view in your head without you seeing it in my brain, but it will. Okay, so I've just planted some spruce. I wish I could speak English today. I've just planted some spruce trees here, and I'm going to try and copy them, essentially. Okay, so we do it like that, and like so. So you got 3 as the major curve there. And I'm actually going to do some down here. Let's swap to white stained glass. I forgot about that. I just want to do it random. And maybe somewhere around the back. There. Okay, so let's move upwards. So we have... Okay, I have it like that. And then the next row is exactly the same. Exactly the same. Is that 3? That's 3. That might not be right. It is. I actually might make this one a little bit taller. I feel like I'm losing my grasp of the English language because I'm trying to rush, which is not something I do very well when I'm talking. I think maybe I'll go... Okay, so I'm going to have a gap there where they haven't, and then... Yeah, okay, and then maybe have a lantern. I feel like that'd be a good idea, and then these on top. Or the sides as well. Okay. I'm not so sure. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. One thing I'm very conscious of is I don't want this place to look like a Christmas winter wonderland, you know. And, you know, it's possible that that may start happening. Okay, this has some interest to it. I think I brought some purple glass. Maybe I could try that. I wasn't so sure, but it does add a little bit of colour to it. Okay, let's just add it in a few more random places. Hello? That's fine. Whatever. So let's take a look at that. It definitely adds something. Do I have any end rods? Yeah, just had to cough up a lung. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. That's really not a good thing for me right now. Let's try that there. Just hang these like from different places. It is maybe looking a little bit Christmassy. I really don't want it to. Okay, I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try a few different designs on this hill, and then get back to you. Another thing I want to try as well is I'm thinking about maybe introducing chorus plants to this place. You know, so they will add some like dark purple colour that will then sprawl into the sky. I like that idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I think I might try it. Okay, so I'll be back with you with some more of these. Okay, so I've come up with these different concepts here, and I'm actually pretty happy with these. I decided to try using the light blue and blue for the trunks. I don't know if it works in this small sample, but I think overall, when we have a lot more of these, it probably will. It'll add extra variety to the thing. I actually think the chorus plants fit amazing. I think they work really well. They're a bit dark. That's okay. It adds variety to the place. I've added some more details. These little floating panes of glass that we've used for the crystal things over here. So it ties back to that. Yeah, I really like this. Now, you know, bear in mind this is only for the sort of edge of the areas. So, for instance, we're going to have a path going to our sort of gunpowder and reed farm down here. So we'll have the tree line come up to about, you know, sort of here and like around the path edge and that sort of thing. That'll be these dense trees, and then I'm gonna have I think I'm gonna try a custom tree made out of quartz. I mentioned last episode I'm actually terrible at custom trees, but I guess I can try it. I think I might even do it on camera. Well, I'll have a think about that first. But yeah, overall, I think this is going to work. You know, you have to imagine this is covering the entire land. All of this is covered in this, with like the sort of swirling pathways through it all, chorus plants all over the place. These make a ridiculously creepy noise when they grow, by the way. I don't like it. Creeps me out. It freaks my brain. But I think this works. I think this does work. Okay, so let's actually build something. I realise this episode has been a bit of a maybe a bit of a dud, but let's try and salvage it here. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try and use like stairs and slabs and things. I honestly don't know what I'm doing really. Let's try thicken that bit up there. Let's try and add some slabs. So which way are we facing? Okay, let's have this that way then. I want a bend in this, so let's bend it. Maybe we want to see the bend from the other side. I don't know. I'm already sort of second guessing myself. I'm just terrible at these things. Let's turn it that way and then have the bend going that way. Yeah, that makes sense to my brain. That doesn't. Okay, so hopefully I can do this on camera. It shouldn't take too long. It's a weird colour. It goes quite dark because we're directly under. I'm in the wrong place. This is supposed to be... You Idiot. Okay, so here we are directly under the very center of the build, and as you can see, it's very dark. But I think I'm going to use some lanterns and end rods and things to make this look okay. Okay, yeah, then let's like I said, let's bend it this way, and then go up. Do I need to bend it back at some point? I don't know. Maybe I can just have it carry on going up. I don't know how tall it's going to be. I don't know anything. I really don't. So let's try that. Let's try a really spindly, thin branch coming up from there. I need... That'll do. Fine. Whatever. Do like that. I always remember a very, very early art lesson that I had, where the teacher told us that trees never sprout branches from exactly the same place. So, you know, when you're a kid, you draw trees and they're like, they have like a long straight, what do you call them? Log thing, stem, going straight up, and then all the branches sprout off from the top. That doesn't happen in nature. They sprout off from random places, is what I was taught. Okay. I'm not sure I can do this on camera. My brain's already freaking out. Let's try and carry on. Let's go this way. Maybe... Okay, then try like a... Yeah, let's try that kind of effect. How's that? Yeah. Okay, let me play around with this off camera. Alright. Alright, so alright. Alright, so hear me out, guys. This doesn't look like much yet, okay? But it's got to be quite spindly because I'm going to cover these branches in glass and that. Luckily, this isn't going to be the only one of these. I get to try several attempts throughout this area. I just wanted one main tree directly under the Skybase here. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Not a problem. So what I'm going to do is essentially all I'm going to do. Did I really need to repeat all I'm going to do? All I'm going to do is just cover the branches so that just every angle of each branch is just covered by a glass block. So, you know, very simple. Nothing special about it. And then once that's done, I'll take a look. It might be a little too spindly. I'm not too sure. I don't want to go too close to the trunk with the leaves, so maybe just stop it like one block away. Yeah, so I'm just covering all the sides and all the tops, all the faces of each block. I know there's a gap here because it's a slab. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not really that fussed about that. Okay, so I'm just going to cover all these, and then I'll get back to you when I've finished. I will replace some of these blue with the different colours, by the way. This is just for the sort of general concept. Okay, I think this looks okay from certain angles. From other angles, not so much. I don't know about these lanterns, by the way. I'm not too sure about that. I think maybe just having the two isn't so bad, actually. I don't know. I really don't know. Just maybe the white glass not help it a little bit. Maybe I should try some like darker blue, like regular blue glass. This is a difficult one. I already mentioned I'm not very good at building custom trees, and I think this has just proven that I need a little bit more practice, to be honest. What I would ideally like is quite a few of these placed around this area, further away from this tree line, because I don't want to get swallowed up in that look. And look how much this is growing, by the way, compared to the other two. That's a bit odd. Maybe the other two have not got as much space. I don't know. But I'm totally fine with this, but being like randomly tall, that's fine by me. Yeah, I would like more of these. I would like them. I was thinking maybe to have them, like, for instance, near the slime farm or the villages or something like that. Maybe that would be an idea. I'll have a think anyway. So yeah, I'm sorry for not doing a lot of building on camera in this episode, but I wasn't expecting to have so much work to do at work. I wasn't expecting to be having to do overtime in my first week back after the holidays. So I've just run out of time, basically. But I should get a lot more time at the weekend to record something a little bit different, I think. So look forward to that, I guess. But before I end this episode, I do actually have something a little bit of fun to do and to talk to you guys about a little something as well in a different area. Alright guys, so I'm just making my way over to where the jungle temple build will eventually be, and I really need to sort this place out because it's quite tricky to sort of traverse this place. I want to talk about, over the New Year holidays, I reached 200 subscribers, so welcome to the new guys. I don't really know where you're from, but I'm very happy to have you here. Don't judge me on this one video alone, please. I didn't accomplish a lot in this, and it's really disappointed me, to be honest, but I've just run out of time. Like I said, at the weekend, though, I've got plenty more time, so hopefully, I should be able to produce something a little bit better in the next episode. If you don't enjoy the sort of landscaping and crystal trees and winter wonderland, as I've got a feeling that other area is going to turn out looking like, if like structured buildings is more your kind of thing, you will like this build. When I start this build, even it's going to be a lot more sort of, it's going to be huge buildings and bridges and water pools and ancient ruins and trees taking over and all this kind of thing. It's going to be really good. I actually have really high hopes for this build, so I hope it fulfills those hopes. It's going to take a long time. But the worst part of it is I need to clear all this. So I've decided to do this in a slightly unconventional way. Although, maybe it is... to be honest, I think this is probably the most logical way. As you may have noticed in my hotbar, some TNT. Oh yes. So, to celebrate 200 subscribers... Run away! Well, that was a thing of beauty. I'm actually a little bit disappointed because it didn't blow up as much as I'd hoped. I guess the blast radius or the blast resistance of stone is quite high, really. I just had a random coughing fit. Maybe that's a sign that I need to end the episode. But yeah, this hasn't cleared out as much space as I was hoping, but that's okay. That's fine. I can do a lot more next episode if I wanted to. I don't know if I'm in this area next episode, but we'll see. Imagine if I spent like an entire episode just blasting this place with TNT. I actually like the sound of that, but maybe that's not quite practical, probably. Okay, yeah, so I need to clear a huge amount of space. I have at least 5 different building styles planned for this, like huge structures, the bridges and all this kind of thing. So yeah, this is going to need a lot of clearing out, but that's okay. Like I said, the weekend, maybe I can do some there. Yeah. But I'm afraid, for now, I have run out of time. So, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and if you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.